Hello team, it's great to be talking to you. For some of you, this will be the first time that you've heard from me in quite a while, and for some of you, you will have seen me as recently as today. And I wanted to come and give you a little chat around sort of metabolic health, the reason that health and movement are important for lifestyle, and actually the internal factors, rather than it just being about those aesthetic goals, those sporting goals, that run time, that high rocks time, deca time, whatever it is you're training for. There's a lot more underlying to what we do, and that's been really emphasised in the last few years with things such as the pandemic and sort of the general health of the population on a big decline. It's really important that we take our time to actually consider why it's important that we do work out, we do move. We are a member of an establishment like this for both physical and mental reasons. There's lots of reasons that are not related to those aesthetic goals, that are not related to your fitness goal in terms of your sport. There's a lot of reasons why we should be working. And the ethos here has never changed, and the rules have never changed. It's always been about your internal health first. It's about you feeling better, moving better, looking better, and having more confidence first. So before we're going off and doing a half marathon, 10K, 5K, high rocks, deca, whatever it is you're doing, before we go off and do that, are those four things ticked off for you in your everyday life? And if they're not, or you're struggling to do that, or since the pandemic potentially you've not been able to engage yourself in the same way, there is a really important aspect, and that is your internal metabolic health. So what do I mean by metabolic health? I mean things like blood pressure, things like your heart, things like your digestive system, things like your liver. Those sorts of things are really important. It's important that we are training and moving. And if you are female and you have come to that time of your life where you've hit menopausal times, peri, or you're right in the menopause, there is a lot of reasons why you should be here working out and using resistance cardio training in order to manage that as well. It's not a condition, it's just a part of your life and something that you will go through, and it's become a lot more acceptable now to discuss that. There would have been a time when a 30-plus-year-old bloke standing here talking to you about it would have been seen as, well, what does he know? Why would he care? We do care, and it's really important. So whether it's your metabolic internal organs, your internal health, the menopause, an injury, movement, whatever it is, it's really important that you are doing some sort of training and movement. And the best way to do that is resistance training, resistance cardio, the way that we've always worked here at NMHF, and we've certainly been working on that a lot. And I just want to dive into my experience since the pandemic. Obviously, I've spent a lot of time, put a lot of time and effort into keeping this business afloat, and it wasn't about the business or my livelihood. I can go get a job in Tesco's or wherever I want. I've got a lot of skill sets that I could use. It's about you, it's about the members, it's about this community, it's about this support system that you guys have, that I have, massive for me as well. I get the same benefits as you out of this as well. So it wasn't about that, it was about keeping this alive so that we could have that. In doing that, I kind of lost myself a little bit. And with that, mental health, but more importantly for me in this instance, physical health declined. I put loads of time and effort in, but I was living at home by myself. And it was a real perfect storm, cocktail for success in terms of something bad and something going wrong. And I ended up, unfortunately, with liver disease. Maybe slightly related to my younger years and a condition that I had when I was a little bit younger. However, it didn't take a lot. Less movement, eating more fatty foods, the nicer things in life, the comfort of eating, because once the camera went off from Zoom, I was at home, 2 football matches on, sitting there. I think a lot of you might get what I'm saying. You'll either remember it from that time, or you might sort of see yourself doing those kind of habits coming back into your lifestyle. And it's really important that we acknowledge when we're doing that, and we can be humble enough to admit it and see that things are going wrong. And for me, that is exactly what happened. And my metabolic health declined massively. I ended up with something called non-alcoholic fatty liver. As well as that, I was pushing something called pre-diabetic. So there's a blood level that you would register to be classed as a type 2 diabetic, which, as we know, is caused by fatty foods, sugar, excessive eating. They're some of the major causes of type 2 diabetes. There are other reasons why you can get that perhaps aren't nutritionally based, but when we talk about nutrition, you can easily fall into this pattern. And I fell into a pattern, putting all my time, energy, effort into trying to make this place survive, and I forgot to look after myself. And the truth is, if I had eaten myself into my grave, or that I'd kept going, I would have been in a really awful state, and then I wouldn't have been able to help anyone. I wouldn't have been able to keep this place going. I wouldn't have been able to continue to offer that paying it forward from what I learn on a weekly and daily basis to you guys. And it was really important that I thought about that metabolic health and what it was that had happened to me. And simple things, a simple 1% decline over a year, and you can find yourself in a position that I found myself. So feeling better, moving better, looking better. I ended up with some really swollen joints and inflammation. These things are all symptoms and reasons and signs that you have stopped moving in an effective way, or your lifestyle's changed, and it will catch up with you in the end. As we get older, it will catch up. As we become more sort of inactive, it will come, unless you do something to intervene. And it's really important that we do that. And there are many ways that we can do that, but resistance training, resistance cardio training, and the methods that we use here, with all this great new kit that we've now got, you know, we're now doing the hybrid stuff. We've got the FF Strong, we've got the new kit, so we've got some machines in here now that we've not formerly had. We've got more ways of working now where we can actually fulfill that part of this service and the methods that we use in order to get those results. But outside of that, there's also things that we could be doing in our life that would just help. So something that's well sort of advertised and well put out there in the world of Dr. Google is something called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So what that basically means is the energy that we're expending, not in here, but the energy that we expend on a daily basis. For example, you perhaps in your family might only have one car. So one of you has to bike a few miles to work. That's classed as NEAT. So you're getting good NEAT movement. Another example of NEAT is that you quite enjoy hoovering the house. So you hoover the house and you move around, and that's your non-exercise activity thermogenesis happening. Other parts of NEAT would be work related, if you've got a more manual job. Also NEAT would be things like, a good way to get some extra NEAT in would be that you have to go and get your lunch from the local shop on your lunch hour, but perhaps you could walk there rather than drive there. That's increasing that NEAT. And if you can do that, the higher your NEAT, the more active we are, the more blood flow that's going to the muscles and the joints, the more lubricated we remain, and then that way we can work towards our overall health on a daily basis. Some other things that should be considered is, if you are under 5,000 steps a day, I know this gets slated in modern day media, but if you're under 5,000, that's still bad. Like, I know that we can't put a figure, and like 10,000 has been slated, but if you're under 10,000, you're probably going to be looking at that research in your favour to make it make sense. Really, you need to be up there 15, 20, 30,000 steps. The body is made for movement, and we need to move, and the more we don't move, sitting in chairs, hamstrings tighten up, pulls on the lower back, pulls on the shoulders, everything then just tightens and goes squeeze. And also when we're sitting in a position, our core can become weaker. So making sure that we come and take part in a regular functional fitness class or movement class, get out for a daily walk, stand up regularly from our chairs, whatever it is we're doing on a day-to-day basis, and getting those 10,000 plus steps in, they're going to make a massive difference. I've saved the best till last. 3 litres of water, crucial. 3 litres should be an absolute minimum, and that's if you're not training. That's if you're not expending energy in a different way and doing more than usual. Just if you're going to sit in a chair all day working, you should be having 3 litres of water. Try and flush that system out. Get that system moving. So within inside you, the lymphatic system needs a flush through, getting rid of all those toxins out of those lymph nodes and those body parts. We've got to get rid of it. We've got to flush it through. 3 litres as a minimum is what we would suggest. So I just wanted to take some time to talk to you. It's something that I haven't done since the pandemic, and I feel like I'll put it out there a little bit there. Just let's make sure we're clear. This video isn't about you getting your violin out and giving me a sob story and you coming to me and giving me lots of support for that. It's got nothing to do with that at all. What it's about is showing you that an active lifestyle with a slight change over a longish period of time, and things will start to change very negatively, very quickly. Throw age on top of that, and that's going to increase it more likely as well. So it wasn't about me telling you a story for any sort of emotional support. What it was about is to give you a real life tangible example of someone that you know, standing here on camera telling you that story, so that you understand the seriousness of why activity and healthy movement and lifestyle is really important for your longevity. Because I'm going to leave you with this. If we do not have our health, what do we have? You could have all the money in the world, but if you don't have your health, what have you got? You could have all the great times with your family and friends in the world, but if you haven't got your health, you can't have that. So I'll leave you with that. You don't have anything if you don't have your health. It's really important that we always look first at why we're here, and the why is that we want to feel better, move better, look better, have more confidence, and then we'll deal with the rest. It's been great talking to you guys. It's been a really big sort of process for me, and I hope that we can help, me and the coaching team, to pay that forward to you and continue to invest in you as people, so that you can feel the same benefits of exercise that we believe everyone should feel. Cheers guys, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Love it. Boom.